Hello again. As you know, I am Eli the Computer Guy, and today we're going to be talking about turning YouTube videos automatically into WordPress posts and why this is a very good idea, right? So a lot of people go out and they start doing YouTube content creation and they figure, I don't have to create my own website or anything like that because I have my YouTube page. So I have my YouTube channel page. I will upload my videos there, and that will be the only thing I have, and that will be a great deal. But the problem is once you actually start making a little bit of money off of YouTube, one of the things that you're going to find, and it's going to start scaring you a lot, is that YouTube can cut you off at any point in time for any reason. So I have the Eli the Computer Guy YouTube channel, and basically if YouTube's little algorithm gets a little hair up its butt, it can just literally not just shut down my channel, but shut down my channel, delete all of my videos, so on and so forth, without me being able to do much of anything. I can kind of scream and yell and bitch and moan, and they can kind of give me the middle finger, and I am stuck. So if you're going to be creating content and posting it to something like YouTube, what I would highly suggest is that you still have your own website. So if something happens to your YouTube channel, people can still go to your website, and then you can figure out a different infrastructure from there. Especially if you're doing videos nowadays, there are a lot of alternatives to YouTube that exist, especially things where you can control them entirely unto yourself. So if you have your own website and your YouTube channel gets shut down for whatever reason, you can point everybody to the website, change a few things, and away you go. But before YouTube shuts you down, one of the questions is, how are you going to populate your website with your new posts and your new videos? So if you're uploading all your new videos to YouTube, it can be a real pain to manually then go to your website and use embed codes or whatever else to basically embed your own videos from your YouTube channel. And so what I have found, which is really nice, is there's a particular plugin I purchased for a couple of dollars that will automatically scan your YouTube channel and then turn any new videos that it finds there automatically into posts onto your website, and away you go. So you upload your video content to YouTube, you add your description and all of that, then your WordPress site will go out, it will scan that channel, it will grab the video embed code and the description and all that, turn that into a post, automatically publish it if you want, and it will make your life a lot easier. So let's go over to my computer so I can kind of show you what's going on, because this is a really good thing, especially if you are a YouTube content creator, because believe me, yeah, trusting Google. I do not trust. Do not think I trust Google in the least. So this is EliTheComputerGuy.com, and whether or not you like the formatting, this is what we have going on. And what we can see here is we can see my latest video posts. So these are all the latest videos that I've done, and I can click on this, and you can kind of see the results of the automatic uploading. So basically, again, like I say, this site goes out to YouTube whenever I create a new video. It will grab that information, embed it onto the website, so on and so forth. So we can see the Hyper-V replication and failover. Here's the video for it. Here's all the description that I had, and this was automatically created. Now what I'd use in order to get this done is this YouTube WordPress Plugin video import. So you can go over to codecanyon.net. I will leave the link in the bottom of this video, and for $22 you can purchase this plugin. Now what I like with this plugin is that it actually works really well, and it works as advertised. There are some free plugins out there that will try to do the same thing. It will automatically turn your YouTube posts or your YouTube videos into posts on your WordPress site. But what I found is a lot of them were quirky as hell and did not work properly. Like they would go and they would grab like half my videos and then just fail out or have other kind of weird issues. What I like about this particular plugin is it actually in fact does the job. So when you go and you buy it, you download and you install it onto your WordPress site, and once you have, you then get these controls. So this is the EliTheComputerGuy.com. This is the back end of it, and we can go here and we can see what's going on. So you're able to add the videos to your site either as videos or posts. So I have done mine as posts. So we go here to all videos, we don't see anything new. We can go and click add new video, and so if we get a video ID, we can just put that in here, search a new video, and we can add something that way. We have video categories, so you can go in here and you can put categories for your video. You can import, large amounts of video, so search query feed, user feed, playlist. So you can do this manually and be able to turn YouTube videos into post. Now what I have set up is the automatic import. So this is what I would suggest for any of you YouTube content creators. So I have the ETCG user channel, and it just goes through and it just updates as I update my YouTube channel. So we have a playlist name, so this is just the name that I use so I know what's going on. Feed type user playlist, so this means the user. I type in what my name is, so Eli the Computer Guy, this is my YouTube channel. Import as, so what user do you want to import this as, so who gets the author credit. Import if published after. Add to import queue, some of the other stuff here, and then all you do is you click save, and then it will start automatically importing based on this information. If we go over here, we can look at settings. It gives you some more stuff. So, you know, import categories. Do you want to import the YouTube categories? Do you want to import the publishing date? So this was really nice for me. So I have been publishing YouTube videos for like 4 years now. So with some of the other plugins out there, the date that it gives for the post is whatever date it was imported into WordPress, but that kind of makes everything kind of messy and nasty. What's nice with this is it will actually have the date of when that video was uploaded to YouTube, so it gives more of a chronology for all of your different YouTube videos, especially if you have a lot of videos like I do. Automatically import video titles from the feed as the post title, so whatever the video title is for the YouTube channel, or for that particular YouTube video, that will automatically get turned into the title. And then they got some other information down here. You know, image options. YouTube video thumbnail will be set as the featured image, so that's a nice thing there. So when you're dealing with featured images, other import options, import status. So I have the import status set as pending. So you can have them automatically be published, so they're automatically viewable, or you can have it be pending. I set it to be pending so that when new videos are imported, I can just verify that everything looks right, everything is correct. Automatically import, how many videos you want to import, how often. You know, I have it just set for 50 videos every 5 minutes. Manually import, so on and so forth. We have some embed options here. What size you want to make the player, do you want to show the controls, do you want to do autoplay, all of that kind of stuff. And then the API and license, since you actually have to buy this thing for about $22. That's where you plug in the license, and I'm not going to show you that because I don't want you people stealing my license. But basically you plug all that in, and then once it runs, as I say, it'll turn all of those YouTube videos that you gave it into these nice little posts. And then once you have turned your videos into posts, then you can organize them or display them on your site as you want. So I use a list category post plugin to list posts depending upon their category, so that over here we can click on the different categories and see only those posts. So this is the Hyper-V, and since these are all the videos that have been turned into posts, we can see all the Hyper-V videos. If we want to go over to surveillance, we can click on that, and we will see all of the different surveillance videos that I've done. So again, this is just a nice, easy, clean, useful plugin that I think is really, really good. And this is something that you really need to be thinking about if you are going to be using other people's platforms for your business. You know, whether you're using Twitter for your business, or whether you're using Facebook or YouTube or any of those things. The question is what happens if you get shut out of that platform? Again, YouTube can shut you down at any time. I have a buddy of mine who was making some money, you know, with YouTube videos, and then just one day YouTube decided that he had violated their terms of service, and his AdSense account was just shut down, just done. And he literally, and I knew the guy, right? You know, this was like a 40-year-old middle-class guy. He wasn't screwing around with anything. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't like some little 17-year-old trying to figure out how to work the system. This is just like a 40-year-old guy just trying to make a buck off of YouTube. And all of a sudden, YouTube just shuts down his AdSense account, doesn't give him a reason, doesn't tell him why, doesn't tell him how he can correct the issue. He just is no longer making any money at all on YouTube. Done. And so if you have your own website, again, that's where I'm not saying it wouldn't be painful. Like if YouTube shut down my YouTube channel, it would be very, very, very painful. But I could point everybody to my website and I could keep the business running. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of those things to think about. So for any of you content creators out there, definitely take a look at this. It just makes life really, really, really easy. It's very nice and automatic. It's a good thing. So that's just talking about turning YouTube posts or YouTube videos into WordPress posts automatically. Definitely something I would say you guys should take a look at if you're doing any kind of YouTube channel. NerdsWeCanFixThat.com. If you're thinking about starting your own computer services company, but you don't want to have to worry about coming up with a logo and copyright and trademark and all of those kinds of things, you may think about buying into a computer services franchise system. Nerds We Can Fix That is a computer services franchise system. They have 62 franchises throughout the United States. They can franchise in every state other than Hawaii. They also franchise internationally. If you're thinking about starting your own computer services company, you should contact them, fill out the information below, or give them a call. Again, as I will say, franchise systems are great for a lot of people, not so good for others. Always make sure to do your due diligence, but if you're thinking about starting a computer services company anyway, you might as well contact Nerds We Can Fix That to see what they have to say. Plixer.com. Plixer deals with NetFlow analytics software. So NetFlow is a component of Cisco equipment that shows you what's going on at the network layer, what devices are talking to what other devices, what kind of network jitter, all of that kind of stuff. So Plixer has a free piece of software called Scrutinizer. Scrutinizer is a free NetFlow network traffic analysis tool. So if you want to play around with NetFlow, if you want to see what's going on with the network layer and you have Cisco equipment, take a look at Plixer.com. Click on the link below this video. It'll bring you to this page where you can download Scrutinizer, the free NetFlow network traffic analysis tool. SchoolieMitchell.com. If you're trying to find better internet or telephone service, or if you're trying to find less expensive internet or telephone service, give Schoolie Mitchell a call. Basically what these guys are telecom consultants. You call them, you say what you need for yourself or your client, and they figure out the best option. They'll examine your existing services and review your bills to make sure there are no errors. Then they'll keep an eye on your services moving forward so that everything remains optimized. Because Schoolie Mitchell is objective and independent, they have no ties to vendors. You know they are always your best interests in mind. The best part is there is no fee for their services. The only cost is a portion of the shared savings over a set period of time. If they don't find savings, there is no cost to you. Schoolie Mitchell. Spiceworks.com. These guys have the free network management software, the free mobile device management software, the free community with millions of users. So if you're an IT professional and you need support, Spiceworks is a great place to go. All of their stuff is basically free and just an absolutely great thing. Again, if you have any questions that I don't answer in the show that are technical in nature, we're talking about Active Directory synchronization between sites in remote areas. If you click on the link below this video, that will take you to the Spiceworks community. They have millions of users there that will be able to help you out. So take a look at Spiceworks.com. Veeam.com. Veeam.com. If you just virtualized 100 servers and now you're trying to figure out how to back them up, they have solutions for ESXi, they have solutions for Hyper-V, and as you guys like, they have free stuff. So if you are dealing with a virtualized environment and you're trying to figure out a backup solution, take a look at Veeam.com. Total Seminars, TotalSim.com. If you're looking for your A+, your Net+, your Security Plus certification, they have video training, practice test, exam vouchers, and more. If you are on the CompTIA track and you are looking for study prep material, study guides, that type of thing, take a look at Total Seminars, TotalSim.com, TotalSem.com. Altaro.com, Altaro.com. If you're dealing with virtualization in a Hyper-V environment, so we're talking about Windows Server 2008 R2, 2012, and 2012 R2, take a look at Altaro.com. They have a number of Hyper-V backup solutions. They have the free version, which will back up to 2 VMs for free forever. They also have the unlimited version, starting at only $400 per host. I think this is a very good value. So if you are dealing with Hyper-V virtualization and you need a backup solution, take a look at Altaro.com. AdAccess.com. If you're dealing with Active Directory on a large scale, so you have hundreds of users to add, hundreds of users to disable, so on and so forth, you may want to take a look at AdAccess.com. This is Active Directory management and automation software. So this tries to automate and simplify the Active Directory workflow. So if you are in a large scale Active Directory infrastructure, take a look at AdAccess.com. So for today's hands-on review, we're going to be talking about Initech's PCI Express USB 3.0 expansion card. So as you guys know, Initech has sent me a lot of products, and basically all the products they've sent me I have thought have been pretty good. And so then they asked me to take this and to review it. And honestly, when I first received the PCI Express card, the thing that went through my head is, oh crap, what the hell am I going to do to review this thing, right? Because what is it? It's a PCI Express USB 3.0 card. What is there to say? How can you review this? How can you make it seem cool at all? You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't seem like something that there will be a lot to talk about. But what I was surprised to find out is that the performance of this thing is actually really, really, really good, even compared to the USB 3.0 ports on the motherboard of the desktop computer I tested this on. So basically what I did was I pulled this out of the package, I put this into a desktop computer with a PCI Express slot in it. It also had USB 2.0 ports and USB 3.0 ports, and what I did is I used Blackmagic's hard drive speed test to see how well this thing would perform. So basically I had a solid state drive that I plugged into an external enclosure, and then I used the 2.0 connection, the 3.0 on the motherboard, and then the 3.0 on the PCI Express to see what the speed test would be. And I was really, truly, honestly, truly, honestly surprised at the results that I got. So this is the card itself. As you can see, PCI Express card with USB 3.0. So I plugged this thing in and I started doing the test using Blackmagic's disk speed. And so the first test that I did was using the USB 2.0 connection. And so one thing that I do want to show you is how bad USB 2.0 is compared to 3.0. So with a solid state drive, I still only got a 22.6 megabytes per second write speed and a 25.4 megabyte per second read speed using a solid state drive on the 2.0 connection that was actually on the motherboard. So that was really, really kind of crappy. So then I went to the USB 3.0 connection that was actually on the motherboard itself. And honestly, I figured that would be the fastest, to be honest with you. So with that, I got a 93.8 megabyte per second write speed and a 123.3 megabyte per second read speed. So, adequate, I guess it's okay. But there we go, taking a look at that. And so I figured the PCI Express would come in slower than that, since that's an expansion card. What I was surprised to find out is the write speed for the PCI Express, the Initech's card, was 112.3 megabytes per second, and the read speed was 127.6 megabytes per second. So if we look at these basically side by side, we can see that the write speed using the Initech card was actually about 20% faster than using the onboard USB 3.0 connection, and the read speed was a tad bit faster, a few percent faster. But that is basically a very interesting result to be thinking about, because if you're thinking about transferring a lot of data, this may matter. 20% speed increase if you're just trying to move around some video files or some picture files doesn't seem like that big a deal. But if you have to move a terabyte of data, if you're doing data recovery operations, it may be worth it to slot in a PCI Express USB 3.0 card, because you may actually get a lot better performance than the onboard USB 3.0, something that I honestly wouldn't have thought of until I did this test. Now we go over to our computer. We can just take a look. Again, if you're interested in this, inatech.com, INATECK.com, and we tested here the KT4007. You can see if you go over to Amazon, it's only $15 to buy one of these things. So I think that's a good price. And the nice part is, with that low price, if you're a consultant or such, you can put a decent little markup on that and make a profit. So it's one of those things, good all the way around. What I will say again, as I've said before with all these Initech products, is this is manufactured very well. A lot of these products, especially once you get down to that $15 price point, you get things like the bezel here or whatever will be loose, or it'll just look like shoddy manufacturing. Even if it works okay, it doesn't look good. You know what I'm saying? And with Initech, everything here, looks good. It's just a nice stock standard part. The soldering is nice on it. The screws are nice on it. This is something that if I was a consultant again, I would have no problem putting on my shelf. And if my client needed something like this, pulling it off, selling it to them with a very nice markup, and going about my day. So yeah, so that's it. So that's the Initech USB 3.0 PCI Express expansion card, again, something that I would have you guys look at if you're moving around a lot of data. Again, when you start thinking about, let's say, data recovery computers, if you're a consultant, you got to recover data from one hard drive and let's say put it onto a USB drive. Again, the 20% write performance increase, I mean, matters. You know, if you're transferring 3 or 4 gigs, it doesn't matter. But if you're transferring 100 gigs or a terabyte of data, 20% speed increase, that can make your life a lot easier. So it's definitely something that I would take a look at. I give it a thumbs up as a product, and I also give it a thumbs up as a concept. So this question comes from Douglas H. I have a very small barber school, and at my school we have a server. My students access their textbook and workbook as well as other information I have stored on it by using my IP address and logging in. My question is, I would like to put software on the server that can be accessed by another location I want to open. I would be the home base, so to speak. This would keep everything in one location. They would log on and access their student records on that software. So the question is basically, so this guy has some kind of system currently at his barber school. So he has a barber school. He has a server set up there, and all the students, I guess, when they are on the property, are able to log into that server and be able to access their workbook, their textbooks, whatever other information. So the question is okay, they're able to do that at this location. So if he wants to open up another barber school, how can the people at that location access the information at the first, right? How can that be done? Well, there's a lot of different ways that can be done. And one of the things that I will say first is that this person should probably go out and start looking for software that has been designed to do this specific task. We are in 2014, right? This is an important thing to understand. A lot of people think we're still back in 1994. Back in 1994, not a lot of software had been created for a lot of these niche industries. And so if you wanted something new and interesting and useful, you basically had to build it or kind of duct tape a whole bunch of weird stuff together, right? That was 1994, and I do remember those days. We're not in 1994. We're in 2014. And so nowadays, right, a lot of people have created a lot of software to deal with specific tasks, to deal with textbooks, to deal with workbooks, to deal with grades, to deal with all this educational stuff. Believe me, in the education realm, there is an insane amount of software and hosted services and everything else you can go out there and use. So the first thing that I would really say that you should do, the first thing that this person should do, is they should sit down, they should come up with a list of requirements for what they need out of their server or the software in order to do this, and then go out and see if somebody has designed something specifically to do this. Hopefully, maybe even a hosted service. So you just pay the $10 a month or $50 a month or whatever, and they deal with all of that kind of stuff for you. Because if you do that, that will be your best bet. Now, beyond that, if we're looking at this, one simple solution you may look at is something like a SharePoint server or some kind of SharePoint server alternative. So with SharePoint servers, what that allows you to do is very easily allows you to share documents and files and information using basically like a web page interface. So you might look at something like that, basically migrate over to that. Then the other thing you can do would probably be the simplest and cheapest, all in all, is to create a VPN system between your two locations. So this person already has a server up and running. It is already functionally doing whatever the hell it's functionally supposed to be doing. So the question is okay, I have this other office out here. How can I give the people here access to this stuff here? Well, one of the things that you can do is if you use routers or VPN, basically endpoints, you can connect the network at your for your second site to your first site and make it seem to the students as if they are on the same network. So basically it can pass DHCP IP addresses, it can do the whole everything you need. So basically somebody at the second network types in the server IP address, let's say 192.168.100, and what happens is it'll get shot through that VPN endpoint, that VPN tunnel that you've created. It will go to the server and it will give them access to whatever they need. If you're going to do that, you have to make sure you do have a good ISP bandwidth, but that would be an option for you. Do make sure you have a very good internet connection with upload speed too. Remember, whenever you're dealing with VPN services, virtual private network services, not only do you need download speed, but one of the most important things is upload speed. So if you're going to set up a VPN connection between two offices, I would say you want at least 10 megabits per second upload speed, and then whatever download speed comes with that. So that would be your option. So with this person, basically has the barber school, opening up the second location. The first thing that I would say is create a list of requirements, go out there and see if there's some piece of software that does exactly what you need for a price you like to pay, which I'd bet $10 there probably is. If you don't want to do that, you may look at, again, like I say, some kind of SharePoint solution or some kind of SharePoint alternative that will create a document repository. You can set up in a web interface, all that kind of stuff. And if you really just want to go the relatively cheap route, the simple route, what you can do is you can create a VPN tunnel between both locations. If you're going to do that, again, look for like VPN routers in order to create that tunnel. And what that will do is that will connect both locations and make them seem as if they're the same local area network. And you can do that. So those are some options. Hope that works. So this question comes from Mr. Francois. Let's see here. Today I need an urgent help on printer sharing. I have in an office 4 PCs which are on different domains. So I installed a laser printer on one PC and shared it for the 3 other users so they can print. But the issue is every time the printer gets access denied or opening, the 3 users are unable to print. I must connect the printer main PC every time to be able to print. In the security, I have put everyone full control, guests full control, same, please help. So I think this guy doesn't really know what's going on because there's something really weird here. So this guy has 4 PCs, right? So the idea is he has 4 PCs and he has a printer he wants to share so that all 4 PCs can print to the printer. That's simple. That's easy. That's like dirt easy. But then the next thing comes up that I don't really understand what is going on. 4 PCs which are on different domains. Now do remember, whenever you're talking about things in technology, words are very specific. Very specific. So when you say 4 domains, that generally means Active Directory domains. And so the question then comes up is, why do you have 4 PCs on different Active Directory domains? That doesn't make a damn bit of sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't make sense. If you have 4 PCs on the same domain, that makes sense. 4 PCs on different domains, that doesn't make sense. One thing that I will warn you in the real world of technology is use domains sparingly. Very sparingly. Use them as little as possible, right? Domains, you want 1 domain. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like, domains are one of those things that you should not have a zillion different domains. You should have 1 domain, and that's really about it. Maybe if you have a complicated structure, you have 2 domains, but you should really only have 1 domain. So I don't really understand what's going on there. But then the question is so he has his laser printer connected to 1 PC, and he's trying to share it to all the others. He's given everybody full control. So from a security standpoint, he's not worried about security. He wants everybody to print to it. But for whatever reason, it is not working properly. So when they try to connect to that 1 computer, the printing doesn't work well. So what I would argue, what I would say, because the question, like I say, it goes back to that whole domain thing. If you didn't say there were 4 different domains, this would be a lot easier, but there are 4 domains. And so if domains have their own security policies, have their own security architecture, you can have them talk to each other, but it's a real pain in the ass. That's why you don't want so many domains. So if you didn't have any domains, I would know what to do. But since you do supposedly have those domains, what I would say is your best bet, honestly, is to go out and to buy or to plug this printer in directly into the network. So that is how you can get around all of the security policies and all that kind of stuff. If you have a network capable printer and you plug it directly into the network and you give it an IP address, no matter what domains the computers are on, they can see that IP address. The printer generally doesn't deal with Active Directory, so it doesn't care about the security, and anybody would be able to print to it. So that is probably your best bet, honestly, is I would just connect the printer directly to your network and let everybody print that way. Or go out and buy a network capable printer and do that. Because if you really honestly do have 4 domains, oh my God, that's horrible. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, don't have 4 domains. That's so bad. I mean, I guess you could come up with trust relationships and oh my golly, if you gave me a whiteboard in 3 hours, I'm sure I could come up with something for you. But yeah, that is what I would say is just just get a printer, a network capable printer, deal with that, and away you go. Again, and for any of you guys that do need to share a printer in an office environment, that is what I would suggest you guys do nowadays. Most people now, and what you have to understand is, again, 10, 15 years ago, we locked down the printers a lot more because they were a lot more expensive. Toner cartridges were very expensive. Especially color toner, oh my golly, that stuff was gold. Well, I guess today it's gold. It used to be like platinum. It was just ridiculously expensive. So we actually dealt with Active Directory on printers back in the old days because you have to understand, it really was expensive to run printers. Nowadays, the price on dealing with printers has come down so much. Really, I would say just plug that printer directly into the network, let everybody print to the thing, and don't worry about anything else. Really, seriously, that's how I would do it. So the final thoughts for today are that Eli, the computer guy, is going back to the iPhone. Bum, bum, bum. Let the hate begin. Yes. So yesterday I got to see the keynote address or the whatever address, and Tim Cook debuted the new iPhone, and I have to say that I like what I see. I think I'm going to go for the iPhone 6 Plus. That's like the super big iPhone. So the super big iPhone has like a 5.7-inch screen. It has like a 16-day standby battery life. Just has a really lot of good specifications. And so what I want you guys to think about when you are dealing with technology is to realize that real professionals like me, we are not fanboys of anything, that we float and we use whatever we think is most appropriate. And so this is one thing that I get a lot of hate on from a lot of the noobs out there is they go, Eli, you're an Apple fanboy, when really that's not the case. I buy a lot of Apple products because they're good, but I don't always stay there, right? So if you look at smartphones, the first smartphone that I really owned, that I really liked, frankly, was the Motorola Q. So back when I was a consultant, I was running around, I loved the Motorola Q, and that used the Windows Mobile operating system. So we're talking about like the 2007 to 2009 timeframe. I liked them so much I bought them for all my employees because they were really good smartphones at the time. So if you would ask me, years ago, what my favorite smartphone was, I would have said, the Motorola Q, great thing. Then as time goes on, of course, the iPhone came out. iPhone blew away all the other smartphones on the market, so I bought an iPhone. So I had a 3GS, and then I had a 4. Then once it was time to retire my 4, I went to look around, and the best thing on the market at the time was the Galaxy S4. So that's what I bought a little over a year ago. Really good phone, and I honestly think the Galaxy S4 is better than the iPhone 4s or even the iPhone 5s. But as we go forward, so now it's about a year and a half later, and I'm looking to replace my Galaxy S4, I go and I look at the Android phones out there, the Galaxy S5, a lot of the HTCs, and I don't really like what I see. And so Apple comes out with this new iPhone, the 6 Plus. I look at that, and that's something that I like. So it has the whole continuity functionality. Continuity is where you're able to pick up workloads from one place to another. So I can be looking at a message on my iPhone, immediately go over to my Mac, and it's already presented to me. Or if I'm getting a call in on my phone, I'll get a little pop-up bubble on my Mac. So the idea with continuity is that all of these devices are seamlessly working together in real time. Really awesome. If you look at the battery life, again, like 16 days of standby battery life, 24 hours of talk time, all that kind of stuff. And so as I would argue now, the iPhone 6 Plus is the best in class phone. So this is one of those things I want you guys to think about when you're dealing with technology. One day, one thing is really cool, and then the next day, another thing is better, and the next day, another thing is better, and the next day, another thing is better. Just because I'm buying the iPhone now doesn't mean my next phone might not be a Windows phone. I wouldn't put money on that, but But, you know, maybe. You know what I'm saying? So just keep this in mind, just to think about it. As again, like I say, I think the iPhone 6 Plus looks like a really, really good, interesting, cool phone, and that is the one that I will be going for. But it's not because I'm a fanboy, it's because that is the thing that is best in class in this point of time. And in 2 years, when I have to replace that, who knows? Again, maybe it'll be Windows Phone. Probably not.